All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Don's Garage. I got a 16, right? Got a 16 ST turbo. Nice, got some work done to it. Got Cobb program and everything. Today we're gonna be installing the intercooler and solid rear motor mount. So as you can see, he went all bolt-ons. You know, reliability issues. Don't mind Darth Vader in the back. He watching over everything. We got Mishimoto exhaust, intercooler, all the piping, everything. Gotta set the catch can up at another date, but right now what I'm doing is, so got the fender liners all taken out, a bunch of clips and screws on both sides, screws holding it up underneath. So right here, what I'm working on now, if you can see, let me see. So right here, there's 2 clips and 2 screws on both sides, so you got to get that taken out. Make sure the bottom pan is taken off as well. For these cards, you got to take off the headlights. So the bolts for the headlights are already removed. So 1, 2. So they loosened up a little bit. I think there's another one underneath, I'm not sure. But you got the hood latch cable taken off. Yeah, so right now we're just moving on to the next step. As you can see, I got the wheels off, it's all chocked and lifted up. Yeah, I'll be back with an update. All right, everybody, back with another update. So got the front bumper off, as you can see, sitting right there on the tray. Got the headlights right here. All right, so to get that off, like I said, you gotta just remove the headlights. They slide forward. Be careful with this tab right here. They do have a tendency to break. It's pretty much the corner of the headlight. You kind of see that this one's already broken and this one is not. It's got a little plastic tab on the bottom. So yeah, you want to do that. Once you get the bumper off, you kind of have to support it on the front. Gotta do the ambient temperature sensor, and then he's got some aftermarket HID fog lights. So you want to go ahead and take those off on both sides. Now on the bumper as well, they got these pieces right here. So this one and that one, you're gonna go ahead. So these tabs right here, that's kind of what's locking the bumper in. So you just want to lift up on this, lift up, and do that on both sides, and the bumper's going ahead to slide out. All right, so what we're gonna do next, we're gonna remove pretty much all this black plastics in the front. Start doing undoing the intercooler, stock intercooler on both sides. We're gonna come up top. He's already got a block off plate done and an adapter for the throttle body. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and right down in here, this hose clamp, we're gonna go ahead and take it off. So undo hose clamp on the passenger side and the hose clamp on the driver's side to loosen up the stock intercooler, which is also bolted, I believe. Just gonna go ahead and take everything out, and then just keep on rolling with this project. All right, see you guys back in a few. All right, guys, so we're back at it again. Just checking in again. So intercooler's off right there. Was a little bit of a pain to get this trim off. It just covers, like, I guess it's just like a kind of like a fan shroud, but for the intercooler and whatnot. So in order to do that on the back, so the intercooler is bolted up, right? By the way, there is 2 screws, so right underneath, so right where this radiator bushing is at on both sides, there is a little bolt. I believe it was an 8mm. Just go ahead and unscrew that. Undo the hose clamps on both the pipings. This one came off pretty easy. I just used a little drill and a flathead for both. That's the where it came off the inner the throttle body. That's what it is. All right. Yeah, so you just kind of pull that out from here, from the back. I didn't have to loosen up this bracket here, but if you do, you can loosen up one of these bolts right there. either one of those to kind of give you a little bit more room to pull down. You do have to unplug this sensor on the actual intercooler itself, so you want to pull that out. I had to unplug this sensor. Again, I guess it goes with kind of like the ambient temperature sensor. You can kind of see it right there. Yeah, so right now what I'm working on is, let me show you. So this is one of the intercooler pipings on the driver's side right here. So it goes along into the hard pipe back right here, and then it goes up kind of right there. So whoever did this last, the smart person themselves, put the hose clamp upside down, so I have to somehow reach around it to get that hose clamp undone in order to remove this whole fitting. And then also right there, if I don't know if you can see it right in the frame, right there is another bolt to knock this hard pipe off, and also one in the front right there. And then this one will be done relatively easy. Like I said, this is the intercooler right here. So this is where on the passenger side that sensor clipped up to. Yeah, going along pretty smooth, other than that little fan shroud. Oh yeah, so for that shroud, you had to remove the intercooler itself. So you had to take these two bolts out, undo the hose clamps, kind of lift it up a little bit, and then go underneath. So as you can see my mat, I just laid underneath there with both hands, shook it left and right, and both of those came out pretty easily. And once you do that fan shrouds are right here and right up there. It's kind of just like notched into it. So as you can see, like there's a little notch right there. It's kind of just notched into it. So what you gotta do is you gotta like pull it up a little bit, get the bottom ones out, and then intercooler will drop out underneath. And then for these top ones, they're a bit of a pain. So what you gotta do is, like what I did is I just kind of bent it a little bit and kind of cockeyed it a little bit back just to get it out of there. But so-and-so is going pretty well. Guys, if you don't have one of these little drills, something like this is an AC Delco from Pep Boys or something. If you don't have one of these, along with like one of these bit sets, you know, I highly suggest you guys get one. It saves wrenching on like all these little fasteners for the bumper. I mean, as you can see, like all these hold up the fender liners, the bumper, and something small, where did it go? Something small, like even like this, if you don't have the right like tool for body panels or little sensors, like for the little tabs and whatnot, a little flathead like this makes your life a lot easier. So all right, enough jibber jabber. We're gonna go on with the next part of this install. I'm gonna remove that piping, and then I'll bring you guys back when I start unboxing the Mishimoto intercooler. I believe it's a competition intercooler. We're gonna unbox that and a couple of the other parts that we have, and then we'll get it going. See you on the dark side. All right guys, and we're back. So that was a bit of a pain just because the hose clamp was upside down, but got that out. Wasn't too hard to pull off. And here she is, Mishimoto. So I already transferred over the map sensor on here. I took it off the factory unit, put it over here, and Mishimoto supplies you with the, I believe this one was the M6 bolt. So they give you one for a left hand drive and right hand drive, two different bolts. So I used a shorter, chunkier one. That's what she said. M6 bolt. Yeah, so here she is. Definitely a lot bigger. I put it side by side with the factory one. 1 second, so you can kind of see. So you can see this is about like 2 inches versus a little bit over 4. Just the overall height as well. Everything else seems to be pretty legit. Good quality, obviously. You can see the hoses. So it comes with all the clamps. So these two giant big ones are for the actual intercooler, 1, 2. Then it comes with a smaller one for the turbo, one to connect there, one to connect there, and this one to connect to the throttle body. Well, actually throttle body and shit, yeah, other part of the intercooler. So yeah, so far everything's good. We're just gonna connect all these pipes, get them test fitted. I'll bring you guys back when I mock this up, so you can see how she looks there. And also got a couple other little things I gotta do, button up, like clean up some clips, and there's got some good old-fashioned Ford rust here. So gonna clean all this up before we get it installed, wipe everything down, because we don't know if we're gonna come back down here anytime soon. And then also we got this pretty neat 3D printed scoop, I guess you could say. That's just gonna go right here, and you're gonna be able to see it, kind of like a snorkel. This guy plans on taking it off-roading pretty soon, hitting so much boost. But yeah, slowly but surely, guys, I'll bring you back when the intercooler is all mocked up, and then we'll get the piping installed and then wrap this up. And we're back, guys. So intercooler is mounted up. So right here, it slides on to the factory stops. Hold on, bro. Slides on to the factory where the shutter shield and shit was at. So it slides, you gotta like go up and over there. Mishimoto's real cool with it. You got the two 8mm bolts, one here, one here. All right, you got this hose ran, I'll show you that in a second, but right here, so the throttle body, you got this passenger side hose connected. I'll get down here and show you guys. All right, so zoomed in, hold on a second. All right, so up there, comes down and around, and right here to the intercooler, and now the pretty stuff. So he's got the stock turbo back there. Mishimoto comes down to this nice and shiny reflected. Yeah. Phone looks good. It's the Galaxy Fold, if you guys are wondering. That's what I'm recording on. But yeah, comes down, hard pipe, bolts up in the same factory location here, and you can see this tab where the weld is at right here. Hose clamped here, clamped there. And let me move this real quick. And go ahead, fire it up. Give it a little. So that's the Mishimoto. Look how nice that looks, man. Blue on black. He opted without the logo. I'm gonna make a template up for him another day, and we're gonna do it Mishimoto logo, color match the car. They didn't have the option he wanted. So he just went with an all black, and then we're gonna color match the car, make it subtle. We're not putting the rattle shield back on, just because you don't really need that, being that that's larger. We would kind of have to cut that, so he wants to keep that factory. We're not gonna put that on. We're gonna put the top trim, bumper guard, bumper. He's keeping all these parts. Like I said, he's doing all bolt-ons, so when he wants to get rid of it, he can just go ahead and you know, swap everything back out and call it a day. So we're just gonna install this 3D printed ram mount for the air right here. Gonna put the other stuff up, start putting everything back together, and then I'll get back to you guys when everything's all wrapped up and she's on the ground on her own. Wheels are on and everything. And we'll wrap this up. All right, guys, I'm back real quick. Forgot to mention, we're also going to be replacing out this rear mount. It's kind of known to be fail, and it's like sloppy when you're shifting. So we're going to stiffen it up a little bit. Got these billet mounts right here. So this one here by Hoagieville, Boomba Racing, I believe. So this one here is going to take the stock one. It's going to be, so it's pretty much going to sit above the subframe where this one is at. So it's going to go up there, and then this one is going to come out this other bracket, and that's also going to get replaced with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. It's a couple bolts, pretty simple. You got the main one here, there's one on the back side right here, and then this one. You don't really need to support the engine because it still has the main mounts in, the main trans mount and all that. I mean, here's another, this is pretty much another trans mount as well. But it's pretty sturdy and pretty locked in there, so as long as you don't take your time, and you can get this done really pretty quickly. So we'll go ahead and do that, switch it out, and I'll bring you guys back when that's all done. All right, y'all, back at it. Mounts installed, wasn't too difficult. Just word of advice: ratcheting wrenches save life. Apparently I didn't listen to myself. Bolt here, bolt there, this one and that one. She's in there, looking pretty. This is probably the cleanest thing a Ford's ever seen in a while. Again, this is done. And now, just wrapping it up. See you in a few minutes. All right, guys, so she's all done. Got the wheels back on. See the ram out there, if you didn't put that on. You can barely see the intercooler. Stealthy. There you go. Everything lines up. Alright, so just to recap what we did today, guys. He's doing the Cobb tune inside right now, making sure uploading his new tune. All right, so we got the intercooler installed right there. Works like a charm. Mishimoto did a really good job of the way they formed the hoses, and they everything kind of bolts up to the factory brackets. Transferring the map sensor was pretty easy. Yeah, so we're about to go take this for a little rip. We're gonna go fill it up with some gas, and then I'll show you guys a couple pulls.
This jump feels amazing, nigga.
Man, it sounds good.
Let me see something.
Got the Cobb up there doing his magic. That bus got a blow-off valve, bro. You gotta watch out.
Why is that traffic right now, bro?
And she's off.